Yes, sir. Guess who's back in the building? Gonna do a super quick live stream. It's gonna be about 20. It's gonna be about 20 minutes because your boy has a date night. It's actually gonna be a triple date night. I'm taking my girl on a dinner date to a Chinese restaurant with two of my roommates who both have who both have been dating for like 6 months each, and so we figured it would be cute. What's up, Gapster? Uh, the only time I ever drink Coke Zero is on these live streams, guys. I I want to be clear about that because I don't want to give you guys the wrong impression. Um, I believe in picking your vices. So, for example, what have I eaten today? I've eaten Greek yogurt. I've eaten raspberries. I've eaten sweet potato. I've eaten steak with garlic and onion, and, and some eggs, some scrambled eggs. And then my treat is so I don't eat candy. I don't eat cookies. I don't eat none of that. My treat is my Coke Zero with ice. So if you and then this morning I also trained legs like a madman on a fasted stomach. On a fasted stomach. So I say all that to say, please don't think that I'm out here, um, like being unhealthy. You can drink a Coke Zero if the rest of your diet and exercise is on point. What's up, Ozzy? Anyway, I want to basically start off by saying last live was epic. Ooh, boy, what are your true thoughts on Americans, Ali? Well, that's it. The channel had a good run. The curve of subscribers was going up, views were going up, super chat was going up, and this'll be the video. This'll be the video that'll make it all implode because I can't lie. I'm not a liar. I and don't mistake that for me saying I'm like I have many flaws. I'm a very flawed person. I have a lot of issues, but I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar. I'm not a cheater. So you coming in here asking me what I think about my true thoughts on Americans, you're gonna get me in trouble. But honestly, at this point, fuck it, right? Like it's like if you're rocking with the channel, if you're rocking with the content, mm, then I think you appreciate my brutal honesty. So if me speaking on that turns you away, you weren't gonna stay anyway. That's how I look at it. Um, Let me prefix my true thoughts on Americans by saying that on the regular, I defend the USA. So, for example, people, I travel the world, right? People always ask me, like, what's your favorite food? I'm like, or like, which country has the best food? And I always say America. I said US. And when people get upset, they're like, what? Americans don't know food? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, there's no place in the world that has more options than the US, like in terms of foods. They have the most food options and they do it right. You can have really good Thai food, Indian food, Korean food, barbecue, Texan style grill. Like they have it all. So I love like I think I also think the US dominates when it comes to like creating entertainment. Like the NBA, I love the NBA, which is an American product. So like, can you tell I'm trying to like soften the blow, right? I'm like talking you guys up first. Mm, but like, I just want to make that clear that I actually admire a lot of about American culture. All throughout my youth, I would actually say, to my parents and stuff, like, and I would think I'm like, I'm born in the wrong country. I should have been born in the US. And it was my lifelong dream to make it to the US. And so I've been to the US countless of times. I've been almost everywhere. Not almost, but I've been to many places. And like, for God's sake, listen to my accent. Like, I'm literally emulating an American accent. So, all that being said, my true thoughts on Americans. I know you want to hear the bad stuff. That's what you're asking. All right, here goes. You guys are by far, the most passive aggressive, flaky people on earth. Like, your word doesn't really mean anything. And I say that with all love, but it just doesn't. Like, I was just making fun of my roommate the other day. Like, we were making all these plans, and I'm Belgian. Like, if you make a plan with me, and I'm telling you I'm down with the plan, I'm down with the plan. That's it. It's like, why else would I spend time talking about a plan if I'm not gonna do it? So you and me talking about a plan, and I'm telling you I'm in. Like, I'm in. Like, duh. But then Americans will do these things. They'll make plans, and then so we made these plans together, and then the other day she was like, we should totally do that. Like, we should actually do it. I'm like, what do you mean actually? It's already been established. But it's not. With Americans, it's not established. You can talk about a plan, you can have a time and a date, and it still doesn't mean you're doing it. It's ridiculous. Like, you guys are just not you just like to talk about things, but it's not like you're extremely non-committal, which grinds my Belgian European gears. You don't want to commit. You want to wait. Like, I've had American people tell me at 8 p.m. on a goddamn Saturday, like, like, let's see what the vibes are. Like, I'll hit you up later. Like, what do you mean? It's 8 p.m. There ain't no later. But Americans are obsessed with like picking the best option, not committing. And I even have a suspicion that this ties into like some type of social status power play where it's kind of like you want to be the person doing the canceling and doing the flaking. It's like whoever can outflake the other one is like King Flake is like wins somehow because you're more important and you flaked on me, so that puts you above me, something like that. Mm, Another thing about Americans that I don't like, there's no one else in the world. Like, you guys are just so obsessed with race and politics. It's so exhausting. It's on your mind all the time. All the time, you guys are thinking about politics and race. And you think you're doing something good by doing that, but you're actually achieving the opposite. I would argue that a lot of Americans always say, America is the least racist country. My thing with racism is, and of course it exists, and I believe, honestly, like we're all kind of racist by design. My thing with that is, if you're constantly thinking about it, you're just making it worse. So, for example, like you guys know I like to analyze, I like to peep game, I like see what's going on, and like read the room. I'm good at that, I think. And I would be chilling with a bunch of white American people, and then a person of color, as you guys like to call it, will show up, and you guys just you can tell that you guys take serious note of that. Like, something happens in your brain, like, oh, there's a person of color in the room. Like, we have to, like, it's like, to me that's already you're already being racist when you do that, because you're like on your quest of not being racist, you're actually being very racist because you're like already being like the fact that you're even thinking about that and you've created that box and your internal little scanner goes boop boop boop. I'll never forget. I was at this party. It's like a year ago. At this party, smoking weed, drinking, having a good time. Um, and there was this guy. His name was what was his name again? Fuck, I forgot. Anyway, he was like a light skinned black dude, super entertaining dude, big personality. We immediately clicked. We were chopping it up, smoking, having fun. He was like a real entertainer, like a wild, just like all like, but in a good way. At one point, he was like doing a twerk handstand against the wall, just wilding out, having fun. And the whole night, I was like, bro, like, I feel like I know you. Like, your personality and your energy is like, I've already met you. But obviously I haven't. But it's just like, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And so it was me, him, some other dudes, and some American dude. And then at some point, this is like hours into the night. It hit me. I was like, bro, I got it. You know who you remind me of? He goes, who? I'm like, Will Smith. You're like a young Will Smith. Like your whole aura, your energy is Will Smith. And the American guy goes, the other guy, white dude, goes, why? Because he's black? And I'm just like, the fuck? Like all of a sudden, I look like the goddamn leader of the Ku Klux Klan, right? I'm like, what? And so, but by him saying that, of course, everybody look at me like, yo, what the fuck? Like, it's like, there's nothing I can say in that situation, to like deflect that accusation. And then the actual guy who I told reminded me of Will Smith. He goes, "Bro, Will Smith is my lifetime idol. I have a human-sized, life-size poster of Will Smith in the room since I was a kid. I read his book. I watched all his movies. Like he's my, like, you're right. Like that's my." So this guy sculpted his whole personality after Will Smith. By the way, guys, hit the thumb up. 3 thumbs. What are we doing? Uncle Benzo is giving you story time. They got 3 thumbs. That's wild. Come on. Anyway, so like this guy, his whole thing was like, I want to be like Will Smith, and then I caught on to that, and I wasn't thinking about race or anything. I was just like picking up on his whole demeanor. I was like, but that's the first thing this guy went to, and then I feel like that's another thing. Just like especially white people in the States, they love to like be the one that bring other white people down to be like, that's race. So yeah. Anyway, my point is, you guys are just way too obsessed with race and politics. You just end up making it worse. You just end up making it way worse. Way worse. You're way too conscious of that. And also, like, by the way, for those who are joining, somebody asked me, what is my true thoughts on Americans? So I'm just like ranting. This is a better video if you watch from the beginning because I prefixed it with a bunch of positive things. But yeah, that's basically it, man. Like very self-aware, very flaky, you're non-committal, your word means nothing, obsessed with race and politics. But aside from that, and the question was not what do I dislike about Americans, it was what do I think. So I'm also gonna, highlight the positives. Honestly, like you guys are the most fun tourists. You guys are super nice, always down for a talk, always down for a chat. You say good morning. That goes such a long way with me. You're distilled with these bitter people who can't even say good morning or like smile at you. And the US is the opposite. So like I know some people might call that fake, but I'll take that type of fake over just being grumpy all day. I love it about Americans. They're just nice. They're communicative. They want to make the best of it. They're positive most of the time. Yeah, I think I covered it. That's gonna be the title of the live, man. My true thoughts on Americans. What do you notice about the difference in immigrants to the US versus Europe? I haven't lived in the US like that. I don't feel like I can speak on immigrants in the US. Like I'm just not. Um, yeah, that's. I don't want to. I really don't. And like you can't. There's no such thing as like a European immigrant. Like it's so different in different countries. Yeah. You don't have ethnic conflict in Belgium between the French speakers and Dutch speakers. We do, but it's not even conflict. Like it's like yeah, like we don't like. The main thing with that is so the northern part, the Dutch part, the Flemish part of Belgium basically makes all the money. We do, and then the French part does jack shit. And then people are just kind of upset because we're dividing the cookie whole, and so the whole social security and stuff. It's just like a lot of people feel like they're not pulling their weight. Um, Also, I speak French. I can have a conversation in French. Like everybody from the Flemish part, like we all have to study French in school in high school. Like I got 12 years of French. They don't speak a lick of Dutch. So I'm like, How would you feel if you would have to if you would have to learn this whole other language, which is super hard, by the way. French is super hard. It's such a hard language. And then it's like, hey, can you return the favor? They're like, nope, we're just not gonna do that. So that's why people are like a little bit down on the French part. Um, and then there's some people who want to split up the country, but that's not really a thing. That's never gonna happen. I also don't want to do it because we would lose like our best, some of our best um, football players in the national team. I'm kidding, but yeah, that's not even like a real conflict. That's not a real thing. Like no really high educated Flemish person is really gonna be like, I hate French speaking people. Like it's not that deep at all. It definitely gets magnified. Um, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. There you go. I was in a French immersion school for 3 years as a child. I missed it sometimes and surprised myself. Nice. Between staying at a nice free place in a nice town versus continuing to travel alone, what would you do? Bro, it depends on where I'm at mentally and do I have weed. I remember like I did my Colombia backpack travel. It was a 3 month trip. And I want to say about 2 months in, I just burned out. Like I just became so physically and mentally exhausted from living out of my bag, from you know going from one place to the other. And then I ended up staying in Pereira in Colombia for like 3 weeks. And I just chilled and smoked weed and went to the gym. I was like, I don't want to take another bus. I don't want to take another train. So especially if it's free, man, and it's a nice town. It depends on where you're at mentally. Like backpacking is exhausting. I'm also somebody who yearns for his routine, and I love going to the gym and like I hate eating out all the time. That's one of the biggest issues I have with backpacking. It's just the fact that you're always eating food from somewhere else. Like I need to cook. I don't like all that cream and butter they use. Like it's bad for you, but your body. I'm not happy if my body looks bad either. Like I just my physique. It's just I don't like that. So I can't travel for too long because I won't feel good. But that's where I'm at on that. Yes, Pumpkin, I appreciate you. You are the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would be traveling in a car and constantly in a gym. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it depends. Like, I'm getting to a point where I definitely, when I travel, I like to go somewhere, stay somewhere. I don't like to move around too much anymore. The older you get, that's kind of how you get. Um, but that's where I'm at with that. All right, guys, we have about 10 minutes left. Hit me with your best questions. This is good. This is a fun live. I like the fact that I was able to tackle that topic um, on this video because that's a good. Like I know it's going to be a short video, so me having a good topic to really like sink my non-existing teeth in is nice. I'll give you a little medical update. You can tell like the tissue is a little bit red, uh, but I went to another doctor yesterday and they told me it's not infected. Knock on wood. Um, like I said, I had an appointment with a facial surgeon here, May 7th. But that being said, I got to be honest, I'm also kind of starting to. I'm leaning more and more towards getting the surgery done in Belgium. Tomorrow I have a video call with like a representative of Belgian healthcare, so I'm trying to figure out what needs to happen in order for me to be able to do that. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's all I'm going to say about that in this video, but I'm just sharing that with you guys because I know a lot of you guys. Um, you know. Also, if you're wondering why I haven't had the braids lately, so like I got kind of not tired of the braids, but I needed a break because it's a lot of logistics, always getting them done and taking care of them. And so it's funny when I met my new girl, I had my hair down. She has never seen me with braids, and so I told her, I'm like, it's funny. The last year and a half, I've always had braids. She's like, what? She couldn't even imagine. I'm like, yeah, this is like normally I never had my hair down. And so I showed her a picture of some of my braids. And I was like, she's like, oh, when they did a little, oh. It's not good when they do that. Um, I was like, all right, 1 to 10, how would you rate them? And she goes, uh, three, 3 out of 10. I've actually been like contemplating the fact that had I had braids the day that I met her, maybe I'm not dating her today. Like that could be real. Like not to say that that's not the make or break here, but you got to get in to talk first, if that makes sense. Like people have to like what they see in order for them to have a conversation that could potentially lead to something more. So I don't know. I don't know. I like to believe that it wouldn't have mattered, but she does really like the blonde hair. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. The blonde hair is popping right now. Um, Thank you, Booyah. I appreciate that. Thank you, Pumpkin Patch. I appreciate you. And Pumpkin Patch, I appreciate yesterday's donation you made. I just want to say I don't take that lightly. Any super chat dollar donation to the channel, like it means a ton. So I appreciate you. I just want to say that. Don't think because we're the next day I forgot about that. You rock, and I appreciate it. I like you better without the braids. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of people have been giving me that. I'm not gonna lie, and this is maybe me self-sabotaging, but now I kind of want to get the braids again, just to kind of gauge that girl's reaction. But then I'm like, bro, like, you got a good thing going on. But I'm an asshole, man. I'm an asshole. All right, guys, I have time for like one more question, I think. Which cities have you visited in the US and which was your favorite? Um, I loved Miami. It was only a short stay. I loved it was just so like I felt like that was what ancient Rome looked like at its peak. Pumpkin patch. Oh my god. I did not give you that compliment so you would like donate more, but oh my god, I appreciate you so again. Thank you so much, Pumpkin. You are my pumpkin, well, in a platonic way, but I really, really, really appreciate you. You are an absolute angel. Pumpkin Patch is putting this channel on her back. See, I really like Miami. I love San Francisco. I like Venice Beach to an extent. I don't like the fact that everybody's just blowing weed in your face, and that's coming from somebody who smokes weed. But um, I really like Deer Isle. Deer Island, Maine was awesome, just like on the island. Thank you, Pumpkin. Um, I New York was kind of overwhelming, but that's like 15 years ago, so I should give it another go. I really liked Flagstaff. I know it's random, but Flagstaff was dope. Phoenix was super disappointing, ghost town, but then Flagstaff felt to me like I felt like when I was used to watch those typical American movies, like it looked like Flagstaff. If that makes sense. Like this girl, my roommate, just texted me, "Heads up, the place is cash only." I'm like, "You're just telling me now? God damn, should have told me way sooner." Fuck. Um, Sorry guys. Um, Waiting on your Argentina chica. Panther trading. I love that. Shout out to you, man. We're all winning in life. Um, what else did I like? Which places did I like? I didn't like Vegas. I hated Vegas. You guys remember the video I did with that girl? It's called "I Flew 6,000 Miles to Meet Her," and it takes place in Vegas. And I had her come to Argentina. Sometime, sometime. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not in the near future. But it's gonna happen, dude. Of course. I actually have a ton of Argentinian friends. Argentinian friends. Trying to think which else, what other places I really liked in the U.S. San Diego was cool. It was chill. Um, I liked Houston. I made a video there. I really liked Houston. I really vibed with the Southern hospitality. My card got blocked, and the lady paid for my breakfast, and I couldn't pay for it. And she was like a thing of words. That made such a big impression on me. Everybody was so nice. I love that Texas accent, that Houston accent. Um, Trying to think if I'm forgetting. I feel like I'm forgetting a place. I already said San Fran. Uh, and I stayed at the Tenderloin too, which is like the bad part. And I still liked it. I think they thought I was one of them, like a walking zombie at night. I'm like, let me eat your face. They're like, you're one of us. Trying to think. No, I think that's about it in the U.S. I think I've gone over all the places that I like. Los Angeles, I like LA, but I didn't. The like people were very flaky, very fake. Honestly, I haven't been to Chicago. I liked Washington. I saw the museums. LA is like hit or miss. It depends. I feel like LA isn't even a city. It's like 5 cities. It's like, and it's too big. I don't like places that are too big. Says the person living in Mexico City. I get it. I get it. Um, so I feel like I missed the question. How do you date without breaking hearts? Communicating. Just communicating, man. Like you can just you don't have to like fully commit. Um, like you don't have to be like you're the love of my life right off the bat. You know. Um, yeah, that's what I would say. Like you can only break a heart if you pumped it up to begin with. If that makes sense. Just don't go full. You're the love of my life immediately, and don't make promises you can't keep. Is what I would say. All right, guys. I gotta get going though. This was an awesome live. Big shout out to Pumpkin Patch. You are a legend. You're putting this channel on your back, and you have no idea how much I appreciate you. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. Wish me luck on my triple date. Wish me luck on my open wound. Um, and I'm just having so much fun with this channel, man. Like you guys, I get excited to jump on here and do these lives and share with you guys. Like I feel like I'm just being backed by this incredible community, the Legion of 500, and the fact that I have a voice and a platform, and you guys are interested in what I have to say, even if it's an arrogant opinion on American people. Like I cannot thank you guys enough. It really means the world to me, guys. This is my life's work, and you're part of it. People are going to be watching these lives. I believe that in 80 years, and watching your little comments and questions. So we are immortalized together. I love you all. Peace out.